Hi guys, it's Alston. In this video, we are going to take a look into a WordPress plugin called Solid Affiliate, which is a WordPress plugin which helps you to create your own affiliate program within WordPress website using WooCommerce. In this video, I'm going to give you a brief introduction on why affiliate marketing could be one of the important digital marketing strategy you could use to sell your product and services, and give you a full demonstration of how to build an entire affiliate program platform using Solid Affiliate for your WordPress website, from setting up your affiliate forms, portal, setting up commission and referral rate, and also paying out your affiliate as well. And with after watching this video, you can go ahead and directly set up your own affiliate program within your own website also. There is currently a deal going around for Solid Affiliate. In case if you are interested, I will leave both the referral and non-referral link in the video description. You can choose whichever the link you want, but if you click on referral link, I will get a small commission which helps me to create more videos like this but does not affect your purchase price. Okay, now let me get started. First, before I go into why you might how you set up this plugin, first you need to understand why you might need this plugin. The first reason is affiliate marketing is one of the good strategy for which any small business or anyone who is selling can effectively use that strategy. The reason is, for example, if you invest in something like advertisements or PPC ads, social media ads, search engine marketing, all these are great strategy, but you are paying upfront before even seeing the results in order to get that result. For example, if you are planning to run a holiday sales or something, you spend for ads. Once the ads are get seen by users, they might decide to come and make a purchase from you or not. So that is the ideology behind all this marketing strategy. Similarly with SEO, where you spend your time, efforts doing SEO and making sure your site coming up on top position on your targeted keyword, then you expect the visitors to come to your site and make a purchase and make money for yourself. So all these strategies are really good, but it takes investment at first, then you will see all those rewards for your efforts and everything. But affiliate marketing is different, where you are not required to pay anything upfront, where you just set up a program for your website. Let's say for example, you are running a small e-commerce business website. You are only required to pay any sales a person makes you. So you are not going to be paying commissions upfront for a particular user, but only when they refer a sale and it's a valid sale after a 30 days or any predefined number of days, to making sure there is no cancellations or refund, you can pay the commission to the affiliate. So whenever you make a sale, you pay the commission. So that is the main goal behind affiliate marketing, and why it is desired by most of the people as a good marketing strategy. But the problem lies where how you can set up a affiliate dashboard management portal, because it does sound complex, where users, and we need to track users on their sale, commission rate, refunds, all the tracking idea, how I can create a software portal to manage this is a complex process. But the cool thing is, when as because of the WordPress ecosystem, where everyone is nowadays using WordPress for most of their e-commerce stores and site, it is a great ecosystem to be part of, and they have great plugins, third party plugins, where this helps you to set up your own affiliate portal system. The current market leader for this is something called Affiliate VP, but it is more expensive, but it's very matured with a lot of good features set, integrations and everything. But the problem is going to be that it's not going to be affordable for everyone, especially if you are just starting out new. That is where a plugin called like Solid Affiliates comes into a play, where it is affordable compared to Affiliate VP. It has all the necessary required feature set to start and run your own affiliate program. Even for example, they are running their own affiliate program through Solid Affiliate, their own plugin itself. So you can see that they trust their product, they running their affiliate program through their dashboard, their plugin set itself. You can use this as an affordable measure to set up an affiliate program within your WordPress website itself. Now let me show you an example demonstration on how to set up a affiliate program and what are the things you need to be aware in order to set solid affiliate within your website. Let's get started. Now you can see that I am in my demo site where I have set up a basic demo site and I have created a demo WooCommerce dashboard. There's nothing else involved. I basically imported a theme and demo data for you. Apart from that, I have downloaded my solid affiliate VP copy and I have given the license key to verify my license settings. Once you have done that, you just need to go into the solid affiliate from this side of the wizard and go into the setup wizard. Basically, once you go here, this will give you all the necessary prerequisite information or data you need to be aware. For example, it is a WooCommerce based plugin. So you need to have a WooCommerce plugin installed in order to move up. You also can use WooCommerce subscriptions also. So the differences between this is WooCommerce where you are able to sell a one-time price product or digital product. Subscription is where it generally as a monthly or a yearly or something a recurring subscription value. So if you are running some sort of membership sites or selling a digital access products and everything, then if you are using WooCommerce subscription, then you can set up application rates depending on the subscriptions also. But in this case, I'm not going to mess around with that. I'm just going to show you how to set up an affiliate program for a basic e-commerce website for to reduce complexity in this video. So you can set up WooCommerce subscription if you want. And the next one is going to be you set up your own email address where this is really important. Whatever the emails you are settings you are going to be doing here is where whenever a notification or whenever a transactional mail related to the affiliate program related to solid affiliate is going around, it is going to use this from name. In this case, I'm going to change it something like my name here, and whatever the email address you give, essentially it should be part of this. Since it's a test site, I'm using something else. But once you've done that, you just click on update email setting and it will be automatically updated. And the next step is going to be the license key, and you can see I have already activated my copy of solid affiliate. The next step is setting up your affiliate portal, where affiliate portal is where all your affiliates can register to your affiliate program and or log into the affiliate program and see all their affiliate related materials, statistic data and all those things. Basically, it's like a client portal for affiliate. So you can create this. For example, you can see I have not yet created this particular portal page, but if I want to do that, I can obviously change the permalink in case if I want to have something different, or I can also have a custom affiliate page designed, and I can use this particular shortcode within that page itself to create my affiliate portal. So depending on your need, you can do it. For example, some people prefer to have a landing page for affiliate where they provide all those information regarding what are the rewards affiliates are going to get, why you should they sign up as an affiliate for you, what are the benefits. Then once the user or the affiliate is interested, you can have a CTA button link on the bottom of the page to redirect them to a affiliate portal page, where affiliate portal page job is not to convince a potential affiliate to sign up to the program, but the job for the affiliate portal is to give a necessary form in order to help them to complete their registration as an affiliate person. So I'm just going to leave this as a default permalink, and I'm going to click on create affiliate portal page, where solid affiliate itself, it can going to be creating my affiliate page for me. For example, if I'm scroll down, you can see it is now automatically created. So those are the basic mandatory steps I need to do it. Once that is done, all I need to do is click on complete setup and hide wizard. Let me do that and show you. And you can see now I have created almost, or I have set up the basic requirement and started up the solid affiliate platform. And if I go into the page, I will now see a solid affiliate portal. Let me open it up and show you how this will look like. for a new person, so you can get in a better idea on what kind of data or the view you will be potential affiliate will be seeing. Now we have created the basic setup for the affiliate setup. Now let's see the examples of how a registering of an affiliate or how the login process of the affiliate is working. For example, we have already created the affiliate portal where they have given a basic registration form. You can control some of this information. For example, and inside that I can go into the solid affiliate and go into the settings sections of the plugin. Inside that there will be a section called, let me go into this, affiliate portal and registration. Inside that you have the control over all the new registrations of affiliate. For example, do you want to accept all the affiliates automatically as soon as they registered? My recommendation is you want to keep the approval turned on, because you need to validate each of the new registration to see whether are they are spam entries or does their promotion method suit me or not. You might need variety of reasons to be keeping the approval turned on. So in case if you want, you can do that option. Depending on that, you can see the affiliate portal page. We can change to a different page if I want. And also if you see here, you can see there is a terms and service and privacy page or a link as well, where the affiliate who are interested to joining our program need to check and agree to our terms, which is a really good uh, decision. In if you want to have some specific terms and services or privacy policy, possibly something like some of the process which are not allowed in your affiliate program. For example, some affiliate program does not allow any affiliates to bid on their PPC keyword, like the brand names and everything, and increase the price for it. Or they might not allow cold emailing as one of the marketing strategies and everything. You can list out all those things and you can link out it from here. And here is the control. You have the form. For example, you are able to collect all these details. If you want to collect first name and last name, you can do. You can set up the mandatory required details also here. But the problem here is like they give you all the necessary basic. For example, you get the username, you get the name, you get the account email. You can have a separate PayPal email for the payments option. Currently they only support PayPal email address as an option to send them payment, or you can send it as a manual backend to with using different payment providers, and a password, and how will they how will the affiliate promote our products. But you are not seeing any other fields. Let's say for example, you want a separate field asking how did they find out the affiliate program, or what kind of a product they are interested in promoting, or are they customers or not. You can ask any sort of information depending on your need. But as of now, you are not able to do that. You are only able to get the data for whatever the data mentioned here. You can't use any third party forum plugins for WordPress and get the data from there also. So this is probably, I hope that it's going to be improved, where either we can have more data field, or we can use third party forms and get the data from there, where affiliate VP does is able to do that also. Apart from that, you have the required, you can set up the default landing page URL. For example, rather than setting up as an home page, you want affiliates to be give a default option to promote a different kind of page which is specially designed for affiliate people who are giving affiliate links to different users. You can set up a default page, but most probably it is going to be home page if you want. And apart from that, you do have other control over here as well. So like once the registration is done, what is the message you want to show. For example, if you have turned on approval process, you want to let the affiliates know that it is a pending approval process, and you will receive an email once it's approved or rejected. So that is where you control all these kind of a setting. Now let me show you how an affiliate can register to the form and how we will be able to do that process for you. Let me open up this private window where I have not logged into any of my administrator account, and you can see, let me refresh, and you can see now it asks the first name and last name also. first I'm going to give the username where it's going to be Alston. I'm going to give a email address. Let me do that. I'm going to give a PayPal email where it could be different to my email. For example, most of the people might have a different payout email as a PayPal compared to the email they want to log in or receive notification. So I really like they do give us the separate option, but I do like to keep the PayPal payment email option as an optional whether I want to collect the payout email now itself on a further date. I hope that will be improved, but currently they can give the payout email here as well. Let me enter it. Now you enter the password here. I'm just going to give a random password. I'm going to give the name of mine, and I'm going to give how I going to promote this. This is a valid field to have because you want to ask any of the affiliates who are signing on to your program how they are going to promote it, because not every affiliate is going to be using the really good ethical way of promoting your products. Any bad practices used can influence your brand or your product reputation also. So you obviously want to make sure that you understand how the affiliate is going to be promoting your product and is it suitable for you or not. So ideally a affiliate will give out an explanation on how he is going to be promoting this product, like I will be doing SEO or video for the product or something like what I'm doing right now. And once that is done, I have to press on agree to the terms and services, and I'm going to click on register as affiliate. Sorry about that. I need to give a better. Let me do a better one and register as affiliate. Now you can see I have registered the affiliate. Let me wait for this to finish, and you can see it is shows that affiliate is registered as affiliate. What will now happen is it will automatically send out an email to this particular email address, to that particular email address of my affiliate which I have used now, and it will say that you have been registered, it is currently pending approval. Once you approved, you will receive the message. So once that is done, you will see this portal here where you have access to all the necessary functionality as an affiliate to see the data. For example, dashboard gives you an overview, referral, visits, payout, coupon, creative, affiliate links, settings. All these are very important. Let me show you. Affiliate ID gives you like a user ID, like this is my affiliate ID within this dashboard. It does give me my affiliate link. I can change these data as well. It does give me a overview data on number of total referrals or number of customers I have referred, total visits, how much is unpaid or what was the total of paid earning. It will also show you the graph stats of my paid commissions or sales. If I go into the referrals tab, it will now show all the referral or the customers I have referred to this particular site. If I go into the visit, this shows all the visitors which I have sent to the affiliate program. These visitors not necessarily all the people who you are going to refer to a program is going to straight away buy a product. So if you want to see how much people I am sending to this site or this program, you can see those details here. Payouts is where all your payment earning is shown, like whatever the amount the affiliate partner has paid to you, you will have the record of that particular history here. Coupons is where rather than giving out a referral link to you, if the affiliate partner decided to associate a coupon code for you where you can, without even sending the affiliate link, you just give out the coupon for the web anyone who is willing to purchase a product. Those coupon can be also used to track your affiliate commission and send it to the program. Solid Affiliate also does support coupon based affiliate tracking as well. Creative is where they will give out several banners or graphical images to promote their product. For example, they can design various different banner ad sizes and give the link and all these things, and you can as an affiliate copy paste this and use it with as your promotional strategy as well. Affiliate link is where rather than using a default affiliate link, let's say for example for this site rather than linking this affiliate to directly to my home, I want to link it to the shop page. I can copy paste that particular site and paste it here, and it will automatically give me what is the link I want to send to my audience or the person who I'm referring. If I want to redirect them to the shop page, but including their affiliate ID, so the user just need to copy paste this. And finally, a settings pages for the affiliate person to control their personal details such as permanent email and all those settings. So that is what a potential affiliate will see once he has registered up to the process. Now let me show you what kind of data from the backend for the website owner will see as soon as a person registered. Let me go into the dashboard of the website. I will also get a email notification saying one of a new person has registered to the affiliate program also. If I go down, they do also provide a WordPress widget. This is an optional one. In case if you want, you can use it or you can remove it also. For example, within the WordPress dashboard home, you will get something like a solid affiliate overview, which gives you a overview statistic of all the major stuff. You can see there is one notification currently available which shows that I have one affiliate who is pending for approval, and also it shows the total revenue, total number of affiliates, total referrals, total visits, all this data. But in case if you don't want it, you can just hide this. And if you go into solid affiliate and dashboard, you will also see most of this data within that particular idea as well. You also have this option, you can drag and drop all these things depending on which is the first statistic you want to preferably see. All these data are available from you. And if I see the notification where it shows one affiliate is pending, I need to go into the manage pending affiliate section. Now I will be able to see all the data for the affiliate person which that person has just registered. You can see the affiliate group. I'll explain why affiliate group is necessary. Commission type, commission rate, I will be explaining all these things. Registration notes, like what is the promotion method he has given. In case if you don't like to see in this like a raw format on all the data, if you click on edit affiliate, now you will see a much better viewable format. For example, you can see I'm seeing the user ID, affiliate ID, group, payment email, MailChimp ID. I'll explain you. Possibly this is used to send newsletters to your affiliate. I'll explain this also later in the video. And registration note, how he is planning to promote our products. Here as a administrator, now I have the control on whether do I want to approve this person pending. Let's say in case if I want to reach out and get more clarification, I can do that, or reject that person and ask for more details. I can do any of these as well. Now I'm going to click on approved and select update affiliate, and that is how simple you approve an affiliate to the system. Affiliate has created an account. Now you have gone through the affiliate forum and their application. By based on whatever the requirements you have, now you have approved that affiliate. Now he is ready to go out and make commissions or purchases, commissions for you. You can see the status is approved. Now let me show you how you can set up all the notification emails for the affiliate. For example, I have only showed you the direct process here, but whenever I approve the affiliate, whenever I reject the affiliate, whenever affiliate creates an account, email will be automatically sent to the affiliate persons to automatically letting them know the status and everything. Let's say for example, I want to control those emails. I can do that by going into the settings section of the solid affiliate, and within that there will be a tab called email. If I click on this particular email, now I will see all the data or controls related to email. For example, I have the default email template. In case if I want to use something else, I can set up from name and from email. Basically whatever the email and from name you set up here, it will be sending out to the person that from that particular email address. Usually you need to the recommended way to set it up something like support or affiliate at something, or whatever the preference you want, you can do that. Here you control the email notification whenever you want to send email notification. For example, you can set when the new referral has been earned, like whenever they make a new commission, whenever the application has been accepted. Affiliate manager is a special use case. For example, If it's a small business, you might not need it, but let's say for example you do have a dedicated person within your company who is the person who's in charge of all the affiliate management process, or collaborating with your affiliates, or discussing with your affiliates, helping out your affiliates, then you do want to keep them also within the communication loops. If you have a certain person like that, you can obviously include their email address, and whenever a notification goes, it's going to be keeping them on the loop also. In case if you don't have, you can have just leave it as default here. And if I scroll down, now I'm seeing all the emails which will be sent out for various status. For example, this is for the new registration, where I have the option to control the email subject line as well as the email body. If you notice these kind of tags, where these are dynamic tags. For example, when you use this particular tag which shows displays the name of the affiliate, so when you use this particular tag within the body, rather than using this, it will be automatically grabbing the affiliate name which he provided and replacing this short tag with that actual name automatically. So you have the option to use dynamic name, email, PayPal, email, status, affiliate URL, all this. So you can change all these things. For example, I can also include a thank you or something like that. I can do that. So you control all this. There is no drag and drop or anything like that. Currently, it just support the basic HTML. Either you can paste it here, but in case if you design the HTML template nicely with using any external service, you can obviously copy paste that HTML directly within here as well. So depending on your need, you can set it up this new message and option. Referral notification is where whenever a affiliate has earned a commission by referring to a sale, you can send off the email notification. This is really a good feature, and ideally I would recommend to use this, because it is going to be motivating your affiliates. Whenever affiliate sees that I have made a sale for this particular product, he is going to be pushing that product much better. He is going to be investing a lot more time or efforts into promoting or educating his users depending on the product. So make sure to use this as well. You have the control of dynamic tags for all this particular message as well with HTML option. Now we have the affiliate accepted email, what I want to do with that, and you can see again the same principle applies regarding this email notification. And I have the referral notification available as well. So those are all the different types of email setups you can do within Solid Affiliate. Now let's talk about referral rates and affiliate tracking IDs to give you a better understanding on how you set up affiliate commission, how you set up referral tracking links for your affiliates, to give you a better understanding on doing that. In order to do that, go into the settings section of this particular product, and once you've gone into that, now you see something called referral rate. This is basically the simplest form, but they do provide a lot of customization when it comes to setting variety of referral rates. But if for basic default, you can set it up as a percentage or a flat payment I want to send whenever commission. It is going to be dependent on you. For example, when it's physical product, usually the rates are very low, but when it's a digital based product, usually the rates are really big. And also, depending on your personal or what your competitors are doing, you can try to replicate that in order to be much more competitive in terms of your competitors in front of your affiliate size. You can do all this. For example, if I want to change the commission to 30%, I can do that. And this is something called affiliate tracking ID. If I see the affiliate dashboard, and you can see that this is my site link. After that, there is something like a question mark, ID and number of this is the link, is a specialized link which helps you to create a cookie within the user who is visiting this link, and possibly helping the affiliate to make a commission and record them. So we have the control to changing this ID. Obviously they are using their own ID. For example, SID equals solid ID, I presume, but you can change this to whatever the one you want. For example, if you have a custom brand, you can use the something like your own ID, or you can use the industry standard, where it's most probably going to be something like AFF, which stands for affiliate, or you can use something like ref. But make sure whatever the ID you decide, you set it up at the first itself, and you don't want to change on the middle of the program, or you have signed up a lot of different affiliate people and you don't want to be changing on the during that time, because when you do that, all the old affiliate links, it's not going to be working, so which might make lot of mess for you or for your affiliates, because they need to go and update all these things. Or if you make any changes, make sure to let all the affiliate know that you are making any changes because of that. Yeah, I'm going to do something like ref. And here are a couple of more features. For example, there are not a whole lot of different features available in terms of referrals within Solid Affiliate, but they do give all the basic mandatory stuff. For example, there is an option which is by default ticked icon control, which is credit lost affiliate. Well, what that means is like, uh, for a product there can be multiple different affiliates, right? So when a user who's interested into buying that particular product clicks on an affiliate link and learns about the product, but he didn't make the purchase right then and there, instead he is going into the internet or web and finding a different piece of information, and within that content piece there is another affiliate link from a different affiliate user, not the previous one. In that case, when the user clicks on the next affiliate link, rather than giving the commission to the first person who he clicked, it will give the commission to the last person who he clicked. So that is how the currently the program is set up. I'm not sure whether there will be more options here. Okay, they mentioned that it's coming soon, but currently it's set up as the last affiliate for you. Again, there are other options, like you obviously want to exclude both shipping and tax, because you don't want to be paying commission for that, because these are external costs of running the business or making sure to pay government and everything. So you want to make sure exclude, but for some weird reason you want to give commissions on that also, you can uncheck this option. New customer commission is a unique kind of a feature, unique strategy, to be honest. Some companies do offer do employ this metric, but where rather than giving you payment or commission for your affiliate whenever any existing customers or new customers make purchases, when you tick on this, only a brand new persons to your website who does not have any existing account within your website, when they make the purchase, you are going to be giving the commission for this. Obviously, in case if you have this turned up, it's going to be like a demotivating factor for most of your affiliates, because you do want keep even the recurring customer to make purchase continuously. So if you want, you can do that. I wouldn't recommend it, but it's up to you whether you want to turn this on or not. Cookie expiration date is something like where I have shown you in the affiliate dashboard. This is the referral link. So let's say, for example, a person comes to a visitor or a customer who's interested in purchasing your product, comes through this particular affiliate tracking ID. As soon as he comes into this is the days which we mentioned that that particular tracking ID is going to be presented in this computer. So even he comes into that tracking ID and decided to close out that particular browser for whatever the reason, and he is opening up that browser again in another time within the 30 days without going into a different person's affiliate link, still your affiliate link will be credited for that purchase. So that is the pay. You can decide on number of day depending on here also it's up to the person who you want to set it up, but do make sure to let your affiliate know all this reason. For some really big high ticket products, I have seen this been very long also, like the payday loans or jewelry or something like that, where these tend to be really big because customers are not going to be making purchase decision immediately. So you do want to treat your affiliate as good as possible. Referral grace period is another important, where I told you right initially that affiliate marketing is one of the really safest option when you are not spending any money upfront. You are only paying commission or you are only incurring cost when you actually make a sale, so which is really good. But you do want to make sure that you are not paying commission before you making sure that your purchase the purchases are final, it is out of the refund period time or chargeback period time and everything. You set up that particular, for example, in your store if you have something like a 14-day refund policy, so you want to make sure you pay the commission only after it's past that particular time period. If it's a digital product, usually it's like 60 days, so you don't want to pay your affiliate any commission before 60 days, because in case if you pay, then if the user refunds the money, you are paid to someone for a sale which has been returned. So making sure that referral period is also very important in affiliate. And once that is done, you do have the group also. Here I will be explaining this in a bit, but once you set up all this process and click on update settings, now you are good to go, where you have set up the most overall stuff when it comes to commission rates and everything. And if I go into the affiliate portal and refresh it right now, you can see automatically the ID changed from SID to the ref to the different ID. So you want to make sure whatever the ID you want to set it up, you set it up at the start itself. Now let me show you some of the more advanced way of setting referral rate or commission rate. Where Solid Affiliate do provide couple of various different options to set up, give commissions on different basis. For example, you can give different commissions for different products in your store. For example, if there is a product called Flying Ninja, in for this particular product I want to give 20% affiliate commission, I can do that. There is another product called Patient Ninja. For this product, I want to give 40% affiliate commission. I can do that as well in case if I want to promote this product more often. So I give more incentive for the affiliate to promote it. I can do that as well. In order to do that, go into the backend of your WooCommerce, go into the products and find out the product you want to change the affiliate rate. And this is going to be globally applying for all the affiliates who are going to be promoting this product. Within this product, you would notice something called Solid Affiliate tab. If you go into that, you can see I can set a custom. Currently, it's using the default one, which means the global rate which we assigned. But if we change to a percentage, I can give a separate different percentage. For example, let's say I want to give just 10% for this, I can do that. Or I can make it disabled, like in case I have created a project where I don't want to pay any affiliate commission for purchase of this particular product. If I want, I can do that option as well here. So depending on your use case, you can set it up on a per product basis also. So I'm going to click on update. Now the percentage for this purchase is going to be different. And let me show you now the next example, where for Flying Ninja, I'm going to give this particular person, let's say go into the Solid Affiliate, I want to do a percentage and I'm going to give 50% for this particular product. I can do all these things and automatically now it is set up. Now let me show the actual way on seeing whether this commission got tracked and what is the commission rate look like. Now you can see I have opened up a new private window, the second private window, where this is not an affiliate, not a store owner, but a person who is interested in purchasing couple of products and he is using the affiliate linking a link of the first affiliate. I'm going into the site with this particular affiliate ID. I'm going to navigating into the shop page within this particular one. I have already now the cookie in my computer by visiting this link. First, I'm going to go ahead and choose the Flying Ninja, where if I believe I made it 35% of commission for this. And if I go back and add this other product where it should be Patient Ninja X, and here I think I made it 50%. I'm going to add that option as well. Now I'm going to check out this particular product. Let me show you that also, and let me fill up this quickly. Now I have filled up the form. Now let me place this order. let me do that. I have just installed cash on delivery for easy purposes, and you can see automatically two products have been made to a purchase, and I have used Affiliate. Now let me go back into the dashboard and show you the stats there. Now I am back on the dashboard. Now let me go into the Solid Affiliate dashboard and give you what data it shows there. For example, you can see now it shows all the revenue. For example, $47 has been made, and it shows the recent referral. The first person has referred this also, and it shows the affiliate data. Now let me go into the tab called referrals. Within referral, I will get more data for this particular purchase. You can see the first affiliate has referred this where he has made a sale amount of $47. I need to pay a commission of $9.5 to him. And what sort of referral source, whether it's a coupon based or a link based. Currently we created link, and you can see the order ID, whether it's unpaid or not the user. If I click on edit, it will show me more detailed also. For example, it shows the customer ID, visit ID, source, all this data. If I want to change any of these links, I can do that as well. So within here, it will show the referral stats. And if I go into this particular WooCommerce and order, here also it will mention as the referral data as well. Once I go into that, you can see one order has been made. If I go into this particular process, click on it, and I see that it shows the regular WooCommerce data here, but you also see a new tag called Solid Affiliate. This order was referred by an affiliate, see referral number 1, which shows that that person was the reason who this commission got recorded. Now let me show you the affiliate portal example. It should be updated with this commission right now. Let me go into the dashboard, and you can see it shows that I have made one referral where the visit was one, the person who came purchased it. It's not going to work like that. You will be having more visits compared to referrals. And you can see what is the total unpaid earning. It's correctly is calculated the cost. I would advise you to calculate the percentage based on that, and you would see that it matches the commission which I got earned. And if I go into the referrals, now I will see the referral data. You can see on December 1st 21st, I got a link on the commission here. I get all the data. I can click on it, actually see what was the purchase. You can see it shows the for this, sorry, I made 10%, and here for 50%. So it's accurately giving the data. So in case if you have any problem with the affiliate where they are saying, I'm not sure whether you are giving me the correct amount of commission for this product, or I want to get more information, rather than they contacting your support or getting clarification from them, from you, they can directly open up one of this purchase, or you can let them know you just open up this detail. It will give you accurate information on your sale commission. So it shows for the Flying Ninja X, I got $6 commission because of 50%. For Patient Ninja, for $35, I got 10% commission, and I got 3.5, and total was 9.5. So I got the referral. And if I go into the visits, now I will see this visitor status call. So you can see I got a referral loading page when it was done. So those are the details I can see from all the different aspects of it from a tracking point of view. Now let me explain about affiliate group. For example, if you go into the Solid Affiliate, you do see something like below the affiliate, there's something called groups. Group is where you usually, most of the affiliate program won't have the same level of commission rates or advantages for every single affiliate. In case if they have premium affiliate or super VIP affiliate who generate a lot of sales for your company, or you might give them more commission rate, better communication process and everything. Or if you are a new affiliate, you want to assign them a low affiliate commission. Once they give a lot of sales to you, you might change them into a different commission rate. depends on your flow or what your competitors are doing, and you can try to replicate them. You have the ability to control these within Solid Affiliate as well. For example, once I gone into the manage affiliate groups, you can see there is a default one for the 30 percentage commission where all the new members is going to be automatically placed into it. But if I want to create something new, for example, click on add new, and now I can create a new group, something like super VIP or something like that, and I can assign them a bigger commission rate. For example, rather than giving 30%, I can give them 50% depending on their sales. So I click on that, and I created this particular group. Now I can assign affiliate for different groups depending on my need. For example, I go into this particular person who is created, he is currently on the default group, but let's say for example, rather than giving them into the default, I can say assign them to the VIP group. Now they will, when they make sales, they will get more commissions depending on the group. Depending on that, you can create various different group. You can assign percentage or flat rates depending on your need. Now with Solid Affiliate, you are not only able to get these kind of customization, but you can also set, rather than as a group of affiliate, for each individual affiliate also you can set up a different commission. For example, if I go into the affiliate dashboard, uh, I need to select which is the affiliate I want to personally change the commission rate, and within that you can see I have clicked on the edit person, and here it shows the site default. Let's say for example, this person I want to give a different affiliate. I can select whether it's a percentage or flat, and I can give a custom affiliate, like just want to pay 5% for this person, and it will automatically, I can do that, and it will also give you some sort of an example. So let's say for example, if this person generates a $50 order, I have to pay $2.5 as a commission to this person. So depending on that, I can control these as a custom user base, in a user basis commission rate. Another customization way of affiliate rate is where I can control per product per affiliate rate also, which is much more advanced. If you want to do, it's possible through Solid Affiliate, where if you go into the products rate tab, let me show you an example here as well, and click on add new here. You can select a particular product. For example, for this Flying Ninja X, or whatever the product you decide, for this particular affiliate ID person, I want to give a custom affiliate commission, rather than what I'm paying to others, what I'm paying custom rate for several other affiliates. I want to pay this particular person this particular product. So we are creating per product per affiliate basis, and this is an interesting option where uh, it's sort of like you don't even need to be a referral. Whenever this particular product is sold, I want to pay this particular person a commission or one. Let's say for example, you want to pay a royalty for a creator or design person of this. So whenever this product or on this particular product is sold, I want to pay this person this particular amount. Does not matter whether it is the person who actually gave sent out the person who bought the product, but I want to pay the commission or some kind of royalty for this person. I can turn this option as well, and it will automatically pay for that particular person also. Now we have seen all the various different ways of tracking the affiliate commission, tracking all this stuff. Now it might seems getting confused. For example, even managing couple of affiliates with all the different rates and everything might be confusing. But let's say for example, you have hundreds of different affiliate with different custom rules. Again, it's going to be making the process complex. If you come down into this section and go into the commission rates sections here, and they will be automatically giving you an overview preview on everything happening on your store related to the commission. For example, it shows the global commission rate, like what is the enabled option, what is do we enable the exclude shipping and text, what is the default commission rate, have I made any commission rate overrides for affiliate products rate, what are the things, like you have the zero affiliate. So depending on that, it's going to be changing all these things. So if I want to do any changes here, it will give me an overall preview. If I assigned any particular coupon code to any affiliate, that feature will also be showing here. So this particular section is giving you a good idea behind what kind of a commission rate. For example, if I open this, it shows the default rate, recurring default, all those stuff. So if you want to make any changes, or if you want to see all the data in one place, this could be a good way to keep all the things on track and keep record of regarding the commission rates, and also per product basis or per affiliate basis also. Now we know how to set up the affiliate program, how to track the affiliate commission, how to see all the statistic. Now let's see how about going and paying out or making payment for this affiliate programs within Solid Affiliate itself. First, if you want to do it automatic PayPal payout option, first you need to set up the integration to your PayPal. For example, you need to go into the settings and go into the something called integration tab here, and within that they are asking all the PayPal integrations detail which you need to provide. You can get all this data from developer portal or reaching out to the support, or there are well documented information on Solid Affiliate website regarding these things, and you just need to fill out this data. Once you have done that, you need to go into a tab called Pay Affiliates. When you go into Pay Affiliates, now you will see all the data which you need to pay. For example, this particular option is disabled, but it is the recommended option because there is no affiliate commission which needs to be paid which are more than 30 days old, which is the recommended way to pay. So you don't want to pay all referrals now, because you only want to making sure that you pay the commission for people who you have made sales, and all those sales are final, meaning it is out of the refund period. So ideally you should select this particular option, but since this is a demo environment, I don't have that option because I have to wait another 30 days to make sure this option get turned on again. But right now I have the option to pay all referral. Just imagine that I'm selecting this particular option. Now I can say for what period do I want to make the payment. Like, do I want to make a payout for this month's commission, last week, yesterday's? It's going to be depending on how you carry out your payout or how you want to do this particular process. Like for example, do I want to make the payout for last month, then I can select that particular range. And now I have two different options. If I have set up those PayPal API data, I can make a direct bulk PayPal payout from directly using this option. For in this case I have not done, but so they do provide me another option where I can export all this data directly. It will contain the affiliate email ID. For example, let me show you that data, and let me select this month, so I will get that data. And I just want to click it all range rather than custom rate. I select preview and click on preview bulk payout rather than the direct PayPal payout, and it automatically shows like what is the total amount I need to pay, how much total number of affiliates do I need to pay, and it shows the affiliate individual stats like what is their email and what is the email address I need to pay, what was the sale they made, how much commission I need to pay them. And you can see I can export and make these referrals as paid. So obviously as soon as I export this CSV, I want to make in the dashboard I have paid these affiliates, so I don't want the same payout instructions or payout requirement to be exported again, and I don't want to double pay the affiliate. I want to pay them in just one single time. So I can do that, or I can just export this data and go out and pay. For example, I want to export and mark these as paid. You can see it as marked as paid. Now it's going to be exported here where you can see it is downloaded. Now if I open up this particular Excel sheet, let me show you the data, and you can see I will get some sort of like this where it gives me what is the payout email I need to pay, what was the amount I need to pay. So depending on that I can do the payout. And if I now go into the payout section of in here, for example, where is the payout here? If I go into the payout section here, now I will say that I have made the payout for this particular person for this particular amount. Now let me go from the backend of the affiliate portal and go into the payout sections here. And if I go into that, now you can see there is a payout has already happened. So all, both the site owner and as well the site, the affiliate keep record of all the payout happening, and all these are synced and automatically done also. Now let me quickly show you how you can create creative ads like marketing materials, promo materials like graphic banners and everything. How you can make those kind of resources available to you. Obviously, I'm not going to show entire setting up process because it is really simple. But in order to do that, you just need to go into the creatives here and click on add new creative, and you just give the name, description, url, creative text or and banner image url, and you just press add new creative. And whatever the creative you do, it is going to be coming into this particular section of all your affiliate partners. So if they want some sort of graphic promotion materials to promote, they can just simply go into the creative, grab those resources and go ahead and promote it. You are not just limited to create one single creative. You can create as much as you want, and you can also temporarily deactivate this certain creative. For example, you are creating something specific for Christmas season, but during Christmas season you want to make this available for all your partners, but after the Christmas is finished, you want to, rather than delete this because these might be useful for the next year Christmas, but rather than deleting it, you can just make it inactive. So when you needed it next time, you just come into this particular place and set it as active as well. Now let me also quickly show you how you can set up the newsletter for your affiliate in case if you want. We have already seen how to turn on the email newsletters for our affiliate when they are registering. Now in order to make that work, all you need to come do is that you need to come into the integration tab and scroll down. Currently they do only support MailChimp, which is kind of like a disadvantage. Ideally I want to use other platforms or something like a webhooks to use my own web email marketing application, which is currently on their roadmap, either using Zapier or other popular one. But I do wish they will get this added more often so we can keep our affiliates informed on any affiliate specific newsletter and information. But if you want to use MailChimp, you can use this particular option here as well to set up your list and sync it with your mail list. Apart from that, there is one more feature I want to show you, which is in case you want to set up reCAPTCHA for your affiliate forum registration forms or login forms, you can set up these data here once this is available to you. Currently the option is going to be here, but still it's not available for you. Finally, before I finish off this video, I also briefly want to touch up on their roadmap, which is really important. Again, if you're watching this video on a much later date, you will already see some of these features are already within the plugin, but as of now you can see the recently released stuff and the in development and planned is the most important. I will also leave the link on the description where they are doing a lot of internalization. Is really important to translate different text, which is really good if you are on a foreign country with foreign language. And data export, again really important. You want to be able to export the data out of the plugin, developer action and filters to help you more customization of all this affiliate program within your program. And also Zapier integration, which is another important one because we want to do a whole lot of different third-party stuff depending on the affiliate registration or sales and depending on that need. So those things are coming into that play. And planned is another one. Infusionsoft Keep integration is planned, HubSpot integration is planned, affiliate portal upgrades into different one, and as well as a form builder to create our own form as well. This more features could be added and more new ones are they also looking for, actively looking into the features. But I just wanted to touch up on the roadmap and show some of the important things like Zapier, developer filters and all the different charts and everything coming into play, so you can get an idea on it. So overall, that is what you need to know about Solid Affiliate. They are providing an affordable WordPress affiliate program solution. It's still not fully matured as Affiliate VP, but as of now it does check all the mandatory boxes to get started up within a small scale or even a person who's just getting started to have a simple and straightforward affiliate platform within the WordPress ecosystem itself. So far, everything works really good. I hope they will continue to keep on including more features, integrations, and customization features to be really great competitor for affiliate VP. But as of now, if you are in WordPress and if you want to test out a affiliate program setup for your e-commerce store or your digital products, and you want to get an affordable solution compared to affiliate VP, this might be one worth checking out for you as well. So I hope this video was useful. In case if you have any more questions or doubt, feel free to leave a comment or join our Facebook group and ask it there itself. Once again, thank you so much for watching this video and I hope you have a great day. Cheers.